Hi, I'm Jacob Hornberger, Libertarian candidate for president. Well, the anti-Trump crowd is dancing a jig over Special Prosecutor Jack Smith's latest indictment against Trump for daring to challenge the results of the 2020 election. They're gleeful, saying, oh, Jack Smith's going to save us. He's going to save us from another Trump presidency with his multiple indictments. Where have I heard this before? Oh, I know where I heard it. I heard it for 2 long years of Robert Mueller's going to save us. Robert Mueller's going to save us with his special report. And of course, followed by 2 impeachments. Look, make no mistake about it. This guy, Jack Smith, is the evil twin of Robert Mueller. I have no doubt that they were separated at birth. Let me tell you what's really going on here. In the run-up to the 2016 presidential election, Donald Trump committed the mortal sin under the national security state by contending that the Iraq war was based on nothing but lies with respect to WMDs. You don't do that to the national security state. And then, even more grievously, he indicated that he was going to befriend Russia. Oh, man, that set off all kinds of alarm bells that he was an overt agent, covert agent of the Soviets, a Russian plant, a Manchurian candidate. They decided to go after him with a vengeance. And what was really fascinating about this, though, is that Trump effectively expressed remorse for what he had done. As soon as he becomes president, he goes to the CIA headquarters, not the other way around, where he effectively bent the knee, kissed their ring, and swore fealty to them. And then he surrounded himself with generals. He brings in John Bolton, the supreme warmonger. He keeps the troops in Afghanistan during the entire term of his presidency. He doesn't pardon Julian Assange and Edward Snowden. He keeps the troops in Iraq. In other words, he was expressing remorse for what he had done, but boy, that wasn't enough. They are going after him with a vengeance because they have to send a message. Don't you ever, ever question our beloved wars, what we do in our beloved wars, and don't you ever question our very existence as a national security state. And this idea of questioning the elections, this is the most ludicrous criminal indictment I have ever seen. Look, regardless of how honest this 2020 election might have been, what they're really doing is setting the stage for future elections so that they can rig those elections and send a message, don't you ever dare question our elections, or we will come after you with the same vengeance that we're coming after Trump. Like, I grew up in Webb County, Texas, in South Texas. That's 2 counties away from Jim Wells County. That's the county that Lyndon Johnson, in 1948, used his cronies, the Parr brothers, who controlled Jim Wells County, to stuff the ballot box to such an extent that it enabled Johnson to steal the election. And I grew up knowing about this. This was the infamous Box 13. You can Google it. And it wasn't until, at the time, they were saying, oh, our elections are sacrosanct. We would never cheat. This is what Johnson was saying in the mainstream press. Oh, don't you even think about challenging the legitimacy of our elections. 40 years later, it was proven beyond any doubt that Johnson had stolen the election by stuffing the ballot box in Jim Wells County, in Box 13. Don't tell me they don't steal elections. Don't tell me that all elections in this country are legal. I know differently because of that Jim Wells County. And if Johnson did not win that race, he never would have become president. So they do steal elections, and it is the right of every American, including Trump, to challenge the legitimacy of any of their elections, including the 2020 election, without being criminally indicted for it. They're going after him with the same vengeance that they're going after Edward Snowden and Julian Assange. Same mindset. We have to get rid of this driving force behind all of this deadly and destructive nonsense, and that's the national security state form of governmental structure. Worst mistake America ever made was converting our federal government from our limited government republic form of governmental structure with just a relatively small basic military force to a national security state with a massive military-industrial complex. In order to get this country back on the right track, we need to restore our founding governmental system. That's the way we get America back to freedom, peace, prosperity, and harmony with the people of the world. I'm Jacob Hornberger, Libertarian candidate for president. My campaign website is jacobforliberty.com.